Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the session on iconography. On Friday, we talked about the basics of Hindu iconography. We also talked about the history of iconography and how the oldest icons are there in India. The oldest icons are from Indus Valley civilization. And in Vedic times, there were no deities or murtis, but in Puranic times, slowly the deity worship, the murti worship, and the temple worship started. This is what so far we can understand from the scholars who have read the Vedas and who have translated it and who have understood meaning from it. We also saw a timeline of how things were. If you want, I'll just do a quick recap of that before we begin. So that, okay, I'll share it in between when it is needed. I'll switch my presentation. So in key eras of early Indian history, it begins with Indus Valley civilization, followed by Vedic period, which is 1500 to 500 years before Christ. Then the post-Vedic period, which was the Vedantic period, where the influence of Vedas was slowly being converted into influence of Puranas. The Puranic period was at rise during 3rd to 10th century after Christ. Parallelly, if we see the dynasties that were ruling India, the age of Mahajanpadas was before Christ, and that was followed by Mauryan Empire. After that, in the 1st century after Christ, Kushan Empire was there. From the 4th century to 6th century, it was Gupta Empire. In South, it was Sangam age during that time. After 6th century, Chalukya dynasty, Pallavas, Pandavas were there. From the 9th century, we had Chola Empire. And after, from the 13th century, we consider it medieval Indian history, wherein we had invasions from a lot of other foreign forces, whether it was from Arabs or the Ghulam dynasty or Greeks or other European countries. And the history of modern India is considered to be from 1850. Keeping this in mind, now let's start the iconography of today's session. So let's begin. Today we will be talking about Vishnu, who is considered to be the preserver and the supreme deity. So in Vedic times, Vishnu is a Rigvedic deity. His mention is there, but it is not as prominent as compared to the Devatas, because it was more of nature worship at that time. So Indra, Agni, Mitra is Surya. So there were a lot of solar deities. Mitra is one of them. So they were given more importance. There were a lot of hymns and descriptions and about how yajnas, hymns to invoke those devatas and more of getting their blessings in form of nature. Like if you remember in Krishna's story, it's like they perform yagna every year to please Indra so that he gives rain. But then Krishna says that we should rather worship Govardhan Parvat. Then there was a lot of rain and he lifted Govardhan on his little finger. So in those times, there were a lot of yagnas performed to give offerings to devatas so that the natural forces could be under control. So out of 1028 hymns of Rigved, only 5 are dedicated to Vishnu. So you can consider the importance that was given to him in Vedic periods. He is described as someone who supports the axis that connects the heaven and earth. Okay, this was about Vedic times. In Rig Veda, Vishnu was a minor solar deity called Surya Narayan. And one story that is very famously, repeatedly referred to in Vedas is the story of Trivikram, who took 3 steps that spanned the cosmos, the heaven, the earth, and the patal. The story of which we can associate with the story of Vaman Avatar. But yeah, he is not described as an avatar of Vishnu. It's called the Trivikrama story. He is also associated with light and fertility. And it is said that while Indra was slaying or fighting the demon Vritra, Vishnu was his partner, and he played a very important role in fighting Vritra along with Indra. So this symbolized the all-pervading nature of the sun because he was considered a solar deity. And there's also a story that Vishnu, now this, see a lot of stories from Puranas. It's like some versions in some states or some parts of India have it. Some people believe that no, it is added later on. So there's a story that his head was resting on the bow, on the string of the bow, near the yagna, sacrificial fire. And other devatas became jealous of him. So they cut the string, because of which his head was resting on the string, so his head got cut. And that head became sun. So there is this kind of story as well in Vedic texts. Now later in Puranas, he becomes the chief transformer or chief preserver of the universe. There is something called Narayan Sukta found in Taittiriya Aranyak of Krishna Yajurved. In Yajurved, Yajurved has 2 parts. In Krishna Yajurved, Taittiriya Aranyak, that's the chapter, the classification, there is this Narayan Sukta which is found that Om Sahasra Shirsham Devam Vishwaksham Vishwashambhuvam Vishvai Narayanam Devam Aksharam Paramam Padam. So Paramam Padam is like the highest position. There is also concept of Paramdham given in the following verses around this, which can be equated to Vaikuntha. So directly, it is not said that Vishnu is the all-pervading preserver of universe, and this is how he looks and all. But his mention is there. Very little, but there in Vedic times. Atharva Ved also mentions Varaha or Sukara, who raises goddess Earth, Bhumi Devi, from the depths of cosmic ocean. But there is no mention of the name of Vishnu or that it is second avatar of Vishnu. Rigved gives the Trivikrama legend that I already mentioned. So in Rigved, you can see the reference I have given with numbers. Vishnu Hamnu Kam Viryani Pravocham Yaha Parthivani Vimame Rajamasi Yo Aska Bhaya Duttaram Sadastam Vichakramana Stre Dhorugaya. This is what I could find. Please pardon if I have made some mistake in pronunciation. Ardently, I glorify the exploits of Vishnu, who made the 3 worlds, who sustained the lofty aggregate site of this spheres of 3 worlds, thrice traversing, that is traveling the whole, who is praised by the exalted. So this refers to Trivikrama, Vamana legend. Okay. So these were the Vedic references. Now in Puranic times, that is almost around 3rd, 4th century, the influence of Puranas became very prominent. And this is the time when Vaishnavism, Shaivism and Shaktism, these 3 cults began to develop, that we are the followers of Vishnu, we are the followers of Shiva, and we are the followers of Shakti or Devi. But Vishnu became more famous among common masses because the rituals of puja of Vishnu are comparatively easier than that of Shiva or Shakti. This is what is believed. That is why maybe Vishnu became more famous. Most important texts that cite this are Bhagavad Puran, Vishnu Puran, Naradeya Puran, Garud Puran, and Vayu Puran. Vishnu Dharmottar Puran describes, now, if we talk about iconography, about how his appearance is, what are his weapons, what are his attributes, what is his color, what is his attire. So Vishnu's iconography is described in detail in Vishnu Dharmottar Puran, part 3, chapter 44, verses 9 to 15. Please keep taking screenshots wherever you need it. Agni Puran and Padma Puran, both texts enumerate the 24 forms. Usually we talk about Dashavatar, but in Agni Puran and Padma Puran, it is said that he took 24 avatars. So that 24 avatar, which is Chaturvimshati Murti of Vishnu. Now, which form has what attributes in which hand and what are the other characteristics of it? They are described in Agni Puran and Padma Puran. Garud Puran also details symbolic aspects of Vishnu's color, attire, marks, and specific body features. So these are the Puranic references if you want to explore them, that where Vishnu's iconography is given. There are some differences somewhere, like somewhere it says chakra in this hand and Padma in this hand, but majorly whatever are the common items that mostly are accepted in major what should I say, versions of Purans, that is what I have tried to describe in today's session. But if you go Puran by Puran, there are some differences, minor differences somewhere about what hand, what position, what attire it is. If we talk about terms of research and archaeology, evolution of Vishnu iconography goes in this way. The early iconographic representations of Vishnu are from Kushana period, that is 1st to 3rd century. Now, before that, in Rigvedic times, anyways, we didn't have Murti Puja or icons being worshipped. That developed later on. So 1st to 3rd century, we find some representations of Vishnu from Kushan period. Majority of them are found in area of Mathura, which is right now also called Vraj, and Vrindavan is quite close to it. Govardhan Parvat is quite close to it, and it's a strong and living Vaishnava center. After Kushana's Gupta century came, they officially promoted Vaishnavism. They helped to build many Vishnu temples. And the basics of Vishnu iconography for the later centuries were established in Gupta period. This is how Vishnu looks like. A unique feature of Vaishnavism is Avatarvad, that Dashavatar or 24 avatar. Shiva has many incarnations, but we don't classify it as such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like if while looking and researching for Shiva iconography, I found that a text that says that there are 28 avatars of Shiva, but we don't list it out like we can for Vishnu, that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this probably began early and kept on developing until by the time of 13th century, it was established that this is the sequence, these are the avatars. These are the major ones, these are the minor ones. In early phases of depiction, we see an evolution from Ana Vishnu to the Gupta Vishnu. There are some changes in the features and some finesse was developed. The Kushan iconography featured Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Varadhas, the boon-giving gesture, as the gods' attributes. It underwent some modifications. In Gupta period, it became Gada, Shankh, Chakra and a fruit, the peach fal. And now it is Padma. Okay. After the Gupta period, we see a more artistic and composite image of Vishnu, in which the fourth hand was replaced by a rosary bead or a lotus among permanent attributes. In the early Vishnu iconography, he was known as a singular figure or a viewer. With they say that he has 4 heads, and one is Vishnu, one is Pradyumna, one is Anirudh, and one is Balram. But in the post-Gupta period, he was shown with 1 head, and he was accompanied by Lakshmi, Garud, and Sheshnag. In the post-Gupta period, that is how his iconography developed. Now this is what we usually see now, that you have Vishnu with his gada here and Sudarshan Chakra, Shankh. This hand is giving a blessing, and you have his attendants surrounding him. So his common attributes are Panchajanya Shankh. The name of his Shankh is Panchajanya, which we also know from Krishna's story. It symbolizes the primeval sound of creation and is used in rituals. In a lot of Vishnu pujas, people also blow Shankh at home. Shankha is common for a lot of Hindu deities. Vishnu's Shankh is Panchajanya. Chakra, it is named Sudarshan Chakra. I'm just taking it fast because we talked about this in a bit of detail on Friday. Represents his power to destroy evil and uphold dharma. His gada is called Kaumudaki, symbolizes his strength and authority to punish evil. Lotus flower or Padma represents purity and spiritual beauty. Rarely, Vishnu is depicted with his bow, which is called Sharanga. His sword is named Nandaka. And as I said, in Gupta period, it was a fruit, a beech fal. And in some incarnations or avatar or in some leelas, he also has a kalash or a jal patra in his hand. And when we talk about the Amrit also, we see an Amrit kalash in his hand sometimes. Kaustubh Mani is a divine jewel worn around Vishnu's neck, and it represents immortality, divine authority, and supreme knowledge. He wears Makar Kundala, crocodile earrings, if you can see here. So this crocodile earrings are called Makar Kundala. They denote the dualities of creation: joy, sorrow, knowledge, and ignorance. Now, what does it denote? The meaning is different in different Puranas and later texts which interpret Puranas. The meaning and interpretation is also different when it comes to different Sant Mahatmas, Maharshis, whatever texts they have written in the last 1,000 years. So that could be different according to wherever you search from. But the names of the attributes would remain the same. He represents blue skin. He has blue skin, like Megha Varna, that of a dark water-filled cloud. That is how it is described. It represents the sky, the ocean, and his presence in the universe. Some texts say that he is wearing a yellow attire, his pitambar, that is what he wears. Srivatsa mark is a curl of fine yellow hair on the upper portion of the right side of Vishnu's chest. Now, some references say that there's a story of Rishi Bhrigu, that he was trying to find out who's the best of the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He went to Brahmaji and he said some things which were not polite, and Brahma became angry. So he said that this is Rajoguni. He went to Kailash and Shiva was sitting with Parvati. He just barged in and he disturbed them, and Shiva became so angry. He was almost like going to kill Rishi Bhrigu or burn Rishi Bhrigu is what you could say. So he said Shiva is tamasic, and then he went to Vishnu to test him. He kicked Vishnu on his chest. So they said that this Srivatsa mark is the triangle kind of shape mark where Rishi Bhrigu kicked him. There are also the versions of the story which say that in some place, like Vishnu wanted to go somewhere and Lakshmi said, I'll be with you. He said, no, you cannot be. So Lakshmi became Srivatsa mark on his chest, and that is how she was also present with Vishnu there. There are different versions of stories in different Puranas and different Upanishads and different later on texts. So you can choose the one that fits your belief. Both of these stories I have seen with references. So it could be either of the two. But the Srivatsa mark is there, that is for sure. Okay, there's also this story that once Bhrigu Rishi kicked him He did not say anything, and he was like, sorry, what did I do wrong? And Brigurishi said that he is Sattva-guni, so he is the best of all. But Lakshmi ji was very angry that how can you allow him to kick you? It's an insult of my husband. So Vishnu said, no, he is a rishi. We should not do that. And Lakshmi ji root gayi. She was unhappy. She came to earth, and to find her and to coax her and bring her back, he came to the earth in the form of Tirupati Balaji Bhagwan. Okay, so that is Venkatesha. That is the story of Venkatesha. Coming back to other common attributes of Vishnu, four arms signify his stability to be in physical and spiritual realms. He has four hands, four arms. Kaustubh jewel, I talked about in the previous slide, symbolizes pure knowledge. Vaijayanti mala or Vanmala is a garland made of 5 types of forest flowers which he wears, which signifies his victory and divine grace. His mukut, his crown, is a Kirit mukut. Garud is his mount. The name of Vishnu's Garud is Suparna. And the story behind it is, please take it with a pinch of salt, different places, different stories. The folklore that I have heard most is Garud's mother was not well, and to save her, he agreed to be the mount of Vishnu, that I'll help you, go and find Amrit, you give me a little bit of Amrit so that I can save my mother. So that's why he agreed to become the mount of Vishnu. That is the story. The sleeping Vishnu sleeps in Vaikuntha, Ksheerasagar, and he is resting on Shesh Nag, which is this Ananta Shayana Vishnu. Lakshmi ji is massaging his feet, near his feet, and he is reclining and resting on Shesh Nag. Here you can see the Shavtas are carved on top of Vishnu, and he is reclining. This is Lakshmi ji and this is Garud. Okay. These are 2 devotees and a cow script carving. This carving is from Badami Caves, 7th century rock carving of Ananta Shayana Vishnu. Okay. And here it is not very clear, but from his navel there is a cord and there is a lotus flower from which Brahmaji is being born, similar to what we see in Padmanabh Swami temple in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. Here you can see it more clearly. Reclining Vishnu with Brahmaji on the lotus from his navel. This is from the Vela Museum in MP. Give me a moment. Lakshmi Narayan is another form of Vishnu where Lakshmi ji is sitting on his lap. He is depicted 4-handed, sitting in Lalitasan, that is one leg tucked inwards, other leg is dangling down the throne. His right lower hand is in Abhay Mudra, whereas his left lower hand is wrapped around Lakshmi ji, who is seated on his lap. His upper hands are with holding Sudarshan Chakra and Panchajanya Shankha. This is from a pillar at a mandapa in Siddhavatam Fort, Kadapa district, Andhra Pradesh, the Lakshmi Narayan form. So Anantashesh, the Lakshmi Narayan form, Padmanabh Swami form. This is called Ananta Vishnu, where he is seated on the coils of Sheshnag, and there is also the hood of the serpent is behind him. You can see he is wearing Kirit Mukut, he is holding chakra and shankha in his hands, and his hands are in uh, mudra where he's giving boons or resting on his left. This is from Badami caves in Karnataka, 6th century. Harihar is his another form. Hari and Har. Hari is Vishnu, Har is Mahadev, Shiva. So left half is of Shiva. This portion is of Shiva. This portion is of Vishnu. Here you can see Trishul. Here it is Shankha. Here you can see a snake coiling because it's the Shiva part. In the Shiva part, there is Jata Mukut. In the Vishnu part, there is Kirita Mukut. Here you can see his Jata coming down. Here he has Makar Kundal because it is the Vishnu part. So it represents the concept that all opposing forces and aspects of divine are unified within the supreme reality, the Brahman, the Par-Brahma. It also symbolizes harmonious balance between creation, that is Vishnu, and destruction, that is Shiva. So they combine together to form the Harihar form. There are a lot of stories behind why this form was created, but it's but for me, what it represents is all the people who follow the Vaishnava and the Shaiva sect should stop fighting about who's great. Okay, they all signify the supreme God for us, Parabrahma. Whether you worship it in the form of Vishnu or whether you worship it in the form of Shiva, all roads ultimately go to the same Parabrahma. Harihar, another from Badami caves in Karnataka, early Western Chalukyas, 8th century. It's there in National Museum, Delhi. He's wearing again, here you can see the features more clearly, that here there is Jata Mukut and Kirit Mukut. There is a Trishul. Here it is Shankha. Here you can see the beechful, because in earlier times, sometimes Vishnu was seen holding beechful in his hand. Okay, here you see Pitambar. Here it is Vyagrambar, the tiger skin. Okay. And Udarband Toti. Here you can see Nandi, the bull. Here probably it should be Garud, that is assumed, but the figure has become washed out. So not sure about it. That's why I've not written it. But this is Nandi for sure. So this is another form of sculpture of Harihara. Vishwa Swarup is one more Swarup of Sri Vishnu. It's there in National Museum of Scotland. You will also find it in some temple carvings in India, where he is shown with several heads, several arms. Vishwa Swarup has been described in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Vishwarup Darshan is the name of that adhyay, where Krishna Bhagwan shows his Vishwarup to Arjun, and it is very vast, divine, very ferocious and frightening, because it is said that there were a lot of serpents coiling, a lot of people, cosmos, forget people. There were a lot of universes which were seen in him. With his every breath, when he exhales a breath, a universe is born, and when he inhales it back, the universe gets destroyed. That's how the description of Vishwarup is there in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, if you want to refer. This is called Yajna Varaha, a very rarely found form of Vishnu. This is found near Loni Bhapkar, Mallikarjun temple, Loni Bhapkar, Maharashtra. On the way, it was found and it was brought back to the temple. For Yajna Varaha, it is said that this form was used earlier while performing sacrificial fires. Here there are 64 inscriptions on, if we count the complete side of this Yajna Varaha. Another famous representation of Vishnu, which is worshipped by a huge amount of people in Maharashtra, the Marathi people, is Vithoba or Vithala. He's standing on a brick. His iconic pose is standing on a brick with his hands placed on his waist, as if he is waiting in anticipation of devotees. The story goes that his bhakta was tending to his ill parents and he came to give darshan, but his devotee said that, please wait. I am tending to my parents and I'll come back. I'll come to you. Please, he threw a brick and said that, please stand on this brick, please wait for me. And when he came out, Lord Vithoba is Thoba, stop, stop, wait for me. So that's the word. So from that Vithoba or Vithala came, that's the common folklore that I've heard since my childhood. His arms are akimbo, hands on hips with elbows bent outwards. And in some places, he is shown to be accompanied by his wife Rukmai. This is a 60-feet idol of Vithoba at Divek Ghat, Pune. Okay. And Balaji Venkateswara, the story which I shared earlier, he is holding Shankh Chakra. There's a distinct tilak on his forehead, which is something that helps you identify that this is Venkateswara form. He is associated with Lakshmi, Shri Devi, and Bhudevi. He is also depicted with Garuda sometimes, and sometimes with lotus as a symbol of purity and enlightenment. Okay, his temple is in Tirupati, Tiruchirappalli. So these were some of the common forms of Lord Vishnu that are worshipped in today's times, and how they look like. Next, we move on to Dashavtaras. But before that, if anyone wants to ask something, share something, please feel free to do that. Please, you can write it in or chat in the chat box. Is my screen visible now? And am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there was a power cut and I had to switch my internet. So I am closing my camera. Let's start with Dashavtar. The most commonly accepted sequence of Dashavtar is Matsya, Vishwa, Kur, tortoise, Viraha, boar, Narsimha, that is man, lion, Vamana, the dwarf, Parshuram, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, and Kalki. Now in South India, Buddha is not considered avatar of Vishnu, but rather Balram. Okay. Matsya, the first avatar, commonly depicted as a fish, as an entire fish or a hybrid creature with a human head and torso, and the bottom is of fish. Okay. Is my voice clear, everyone? And is the PPT clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Here, it's a 15th, 16th century depiction, Vithala temple from Hampi Hindu monuments in Karnataka. He is wearing a Kirit Mukut, Sudarshan Chakra, Shankh in Abhay Mudra. The right lower hand is in Abhay Mudra and the left lower hand is in Varad Mudra, that is giving a boon. This is the Abhay Mudra, this is the Varad Mudra. Another depiction was this. It's a 9th, 10th century sandstone still from Central India. It portrays Vishnu Bhagwan in his Matsya avatar carrying a shrine like this to safety. So the story of Matsya avatar is there's a king called Manu, and to him, a fish comes and says that, please take me home. He brings it to his palace, but slowly the fish becomes so large that the tank in his palace is not enough for it. So he gets confused as to what should he do. So the fish tells him that bring him back to the river, and a flood is going to come where the entire earth would be covered with flood. So you save two creatures of every species, and when I'll come, this is how you build a boat, and I'll carry you to safety. So that is what happened, and Manu became the first man or human in the world. You find parallels of it in the Noah's Ark story in Christianity. So this is the story of Matsya Avatar. Okay. Next is Kurma Avatar, which is associated with the story of Samudra Manthan, that Devatas and Rakshas, they all decided to churn the ocean in order to get all the treasures of the ocean. But how should we churn it? So Mandarachal Parvat, the mountain, say that, okay, we will churn Mandarachal, and what will we use as a rope? It is Vasuki serpent would be used as a rope. So what should be the base or the resting point on which we can churn the ocean? So Vishnu Bhagwan became Kurma, a tortoise, a huge tortoise on which Mandarachal Parvat rested, and on it they churned the ocean. So that is the Kurma Avatar. This idol is like from Sri Kurmam temple in Srikakulam. Dashavatar idols are there in the outside vicinity of the temple. This is the Kurma Avatar. Kirit Mukut, it has. All Vishnu depictions mostly have Kirit Mukut. So Darshan Chakra, Shankh, and again Abhay Mudra and Varad Mudra. Carapace of tortoise in the lower half of the body with 4 limbs. Below this, there is a shlok written in Sanskrit, and it is said that if you chant this shlok every day, it will save you from the bad impacts or negative impacts of Shani. These are other depictions of Kurma Avatar that I could find. This is the depiction of Samudra Manthan, which was found in Ghadwa, Allahabad district. Here you can see the tortoise and the Mandarachal Parvat, Vasuki Nag, and Devatas and Danavas are churning the ocean, from which a lot of jewels, Airavat, Lakshmi Ji, Amrit, all of it came out of the ocean. This is one more depiction of Samudra Manthan at Badoh Pathri, Vidisha. It is believed to be of 8th or 9th century and is presently in Gwalior Museum. Next is Varaha Avatar. For those who have seen Mahavatar Narasimha movies, which was released 2-3 months back, 4-5 months back, I guess. Since a month it has also been released on Netflix. So it begins with the story of Varaha Avatar. So it might be fresh for those people who watched the movie. 6th or 7th century, Badami caves. This is Vishnu or Boar's incarnation, which rescues Earth Goddess or Bhudevi. Here you can see Bhudevi. So Bhudevi is usually sometimes held in his hand, or it is usually near his snout. So here her hand is draped over Varaha's muzzle, and here at the bottom you see Hiranyaksha, the demon who hid the earth in Garbhodak Sagar, from where Varaha Bhagwan, Vishnu took Varaha Bhagwan avatar, the avatar of a boar, and brought Bhudevi, earth, out from Garbhodak Sagar. So it is also called Bhuvaraha story. There's also the story of how Hiranyakashyap and Hiranyaksh came into being, that Jai and Vijay were Dwarpals of Vaikunt, and there are They say Sanat Kumar, some people say other rishis, some people say Ashwini Kumar. I've read different versions of who came and cursed them. But they were cursed when they did not allow the guest to enter Vaikunt. And they were cursed that you will have to go away from Vaikunt because you are not allowing us to meet Vishnu Bhagwan. So they were immediately agitated and said that no, how will we live without him? So they said that you have two options. Either you can be a great bhakt of Vishnu Bhagwan for 10 incarnations, or you can be ferocious demons for 3 incarnations and come back. So they decided that we'll have 3 incarnations and come back, so that way we can come back faster to Vishnu Bhagwan. Their first incarnation was Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, 2 sons born to Kashyap Muni and Deity. The next incarnation is Ravan and Kumbhakarna, who were both slain by Vishnu Bhagwan in Rama Avatar. And the third incarnation is believed to be Jarasangha and Shishupal. Jarasangha and Shishupal, right? Kans and Shishupal. Sorry, Kans and Shishupal. My bad. Jarasangha was a relative of Shishupal. Kans and Shishupal. This is again another depiction from Khajuraho of Varaha Avatar. Here you can see Bhudevi. Narasimha Swami is the 4th avatar of Vishnu. After Hiranyaksh was killed by Varaha Bhagwan, his brother Hiranyakashipu became very ferocious. He captured all the 3 worlds, Devlok, Patal-lok, Dharti, everywhere. But his son Prahlad was a very staunch devotee of Vishnu Bhagwan. And when he repeatedly tried to torture Prahlad, kill Prahlad, ultimately, one day, he said that if your God is present everywhere, is he present in this pillar? Prahlad said yes, and Narsimha Bhagwan Vishnu Bhagwan incarnated in the form of half human, half lion, because Hiranyakashyap had a boon that no man, no animal, no weapon could kill him. He couldn't be killed inside the house, outside the house, in the night, in the day, on the earth, in the sky. He couldn't be killed anywhere. So Narsimha Bhagwan, it was neither a human nor an animal. He did not take any weapons because he killed Hiranyakashyap with his nails, which you can see he is disemboweling his intestines, which are flying all around. These are the weapons of Narasimha Bhagwan, and Hiranyakashyap is on his lap. He is neither on the earth, neither in the sky, and he was sitting in the what we call the umbro, the place from which we enter the house, the door, where it is neither inside the house nor outside the house. This is the Ugra Narasimha Swarup. If you go to Ahobilam, which is in Andhra Pradesh or maybe Telangana now, there you see Nav Narasimha forms where he is calm, he is ascetic, he is with Lakshmi, and he is angry, different forms. So here you can see Prahlad below. This is from Chinnakeshava temple in Bellur, Karnataka, which was built in 12th century by Hoysala king Vishnuvardhan. This is a depiction of Narasimha Bhagwan, standing Narasimha Bhagwan from Badami caves in Karnataka. Another depiction of Narasimha Bhagwan having Hiranyakashipu in his lap and killing him from Hoysaleswar temple. It's a 12th century carving. This is from Surya temple, Jhalrapatan, Rajasthan, where Narasimha Bhagwan is fighting with Hiranyakashipu. Okay. Next is Vaman Avatar, where Prahlad's grandson, King Bali, had become very powerful and had captured the 3 worlds. He was a person who was benevolent. So he used to give a lot of donations, charity to people while he was performing a yagna at behest of his Guru Shukracharya, which could have made him more powerful. Devdas requested Vishnu Bhagwan that to please do something about it. He came in the form of Vaman, a dwarf holding an umbrella and a water pot, kamandal, in his hand. And then he came to King Bali and said in the form of a Brahman that please give me what I asked for. King Bali said, he said, first you have to promise me that whatever I ask for, you will give. So King Bali gave the promise, and then he said, I want a place to cover my 3 steps. I said, okay. So when he took the first step, he covered the entire earth. Second, he covered the entire sky. There was no place to put his third step. So King Bali said, put your third step on me. And when he put third step on King Bali's head, King Bali went to Patal and he became Das. This is also mentioned in Vedas as the story of Trivikrama. So here you can see ancient musical instruments are also carved below this. This is from Badami caves in 6th, 7th century. Okay. Someone unmuting themselves. If you want to ask something? And okay. Is it clear now? Is the presentation visible? Yeah. So this is another Trivikrama, this depiction from Ocean, Jodhpur district, Rajasthan. So you see we have a lot more of such depictions from South India still there, because those temples have not been completely destroyed by invaders. A lot of temples and sculptures in North India were destroyed when invaders came. So these were the first 5 avatars. 6th, Parshuram. He features Parshu, his divine ex. He is the son of Rishi Jamadagni and Renuka. And the story is that his father asked each of his sons to kill his mother when he was angry on his mother. None of them did it. Only Parshuram did it. So he was happy and said, okay, I grant you a boon. So he said, okay, grant me the boon that my mother becomes alive again. So that was the story. Then there's another story that later on, he's a Brahmin Kshatriya. He is a sage and he's also a warrior. 21 times he killed Kshatriyas. So 21 times he made So 21 times he made the earth Nakshatri, and that is why we have 21 nakshatras in the sky. That's also a story that's associated. So he is usually depicted in the Tribhangi position, curved in 3 places. He has the calm face of a sage, but he holds weapons in his hand. This is a depiction from 10th century, Hindola Torana Gate at Gyaraspur, Vidisha. The 7th incarnation is of Ram Bhagwan. Ramayan is something that we know a lot since our childhood, so I'll focus more on his iconography. He is shown as 2-armed, although some texts provide him with 4 arms. When he is 2-armed, he carries his bow, which is called kodand, with his left hand. It is raised to the level of his forehead, and the arrow in his right hand hangs down. The quiver of the arrow is shown to hang on his back. He is shown in 3-band stance, Tribhangi, while standing. He is adorned in jewels because he is the king of Ayodhya. He is shown as exceedingly handsome, calm in aspect, and slightly smiling. He carries the Srivatsa mark on his chest. often depicted with his consort Sita Mata, who is considered to be incarnation of Vishnu's wife Lakshmi, his brother Lakshman, who is considered to be the incarnation of Sheshnag, and his devoted Bhakt follower Hanumanji. So this is an 11th century depiction of Ram Bhagwan in exact that Tribhangi position, holding the Kodand bow in his arms with an arrow that goes downwards and the quiver of bows and a lot of jewelry because he's the king. It's from Melakut Vanarayan temple in Karnataka. This is another depiction of Kodand Pani in Ardhavaitastik Sthanak pose, depicted holding Sharang in his left hand and an arrow in his right hand. It's at the Siddhwatam Fort, Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh. Krishna. Now, Krishna would require me 5 sessions of an entire FDP if I describe his iconography in the various leelas that he has done throughout his life. But in general, if I had to say, the most common things for him are dark blue complexion, Meghavarna or Shyamavarna, lotus-like eyes, a crown of peacock feather, yellow dhoti, pitambar, sacred thread, yajnopavit, flute held delicately in his hands, and as and when needed, Sudarshan Chakra as well. Cowherd staff or a dand whenever he is shown to be with cows, like when he goes for grazing cows in Gokul, he is holding a cowherd staff in his hand. Lotus is often depicted in Krishna's hands or at his feet. He is shown to interact with animals, especially in his Bal Leela, whenever we talk about his Leela in Gokul, that if he is playing a flute and cows and peacock and animals are surrounding him, they symbolize his divine nature and compassionate demeanor. This is Krishna playing flute with all living beings, like you can see cows, deers, human beings, deities, all of them have gathered around him while he is playing his flute. He is the prince of Gokul, the prince of Mathura, and later on the king of Dwarka. So he's usually adorned in a lot of jewelry. This is a 12th century from Hoysaleswar temple in Karnataka. Astabhuja Krishna, a 12th century carving in Hampi temple wall in Karnataka. So I thought this is different from what we usually see Krishna's depictions. So this is also how he is depicted. A lot of stories are there. Harivansh Puran, Srimad Bhagavad, Vishnu Puran. You find a lot of different stories, Leelas, and then Garg Puran, and later on a lot of things have been written about him. So there are so many Leelas about him that you can find in small villages, small places, each and every place of India, especially Vraj. Krishna lifting Govardhan mountain. It's a 7th century artwork from an archaeological site in Da Nang, Vietnam. This is Krishna Balram and Ekanamsha. So Ekanamsha is Yogamaya, who was born to Yashoda, and Nandbava Vasudevji put Krishna there and took away Yogamaya back to the jail in Mathura. So that here, this is Balram shown with Sheshnag, Ekanamsha, Yogamaya. Some people also call it Subhadra. Some scholars say that this is Subhadra and this is Krishna. Imatpur, 11th century, it's inscribed in the 48th regional year of Mahibala. Okay, so this is how it looks. One more version of it is Jagannath Puri, Jagannathji with Balram and Subhadra, but that carving is not depicted much in different temple places. Krishna with his consorts Rukmini and Satyabhama and Garud. This is from Tamil Nadu, found in late 12th or 13th century. Balakrishna eating butter from a pot. This carving is seen on a mandap pillar at Sidvatam Fort, Kadapa district, Andhra Pradesh. The Balakrishna is crawling on his feet. Here is a pot of butter. He is eating butter. That is how it has been depicted. A dancing Balakrishna statue, a Chola sculpture from 14th century, found in Tamil Nadu. Ninth incarnation is considered to be Buddha, but the scholars say that there was a rise of Buddhism at that time. So in order to prevent this, Hindus incorporated Buddha as an avatar of Vishnu so that people don't go from Hinduism to Buddhism. In South India, instead of Buddha, elder brother of Krishna, Balram, is considered to be ninth avatar of Vishnu Bhagwan. So this, I have just symbolically taken a picture of Buddha from Gandhar, 4th, 5th century. That is Afghanistan in current times. This is the mention of Buddha Bhagwan is not there in Puranas, not at all in Vedas, and it has been added in later period. 10th avatar of Vishnu Bhagwan, which is yet to happen. But there is Kalki Puran, which gives us very detailed description. There is also detailed description in Srimad Bhagavad Puran of how Kalki Bhagwan is and what will his leela be when there will be lot of evil in the world. It will be the end of the world, and from Kali Yuga, he will take us back to Satyug. He will be riding a white horse named Devdutt, wield a blazing sword to destroy evil and restore dharma. He is also depicted with 2 or 4 arms holding shield, conch. Shield is dhal, conch is shank, and chakra, and sometimes appearing with a horse head. This is a depiction from Rani Ki Vav stepwell in Patan, Gujarat. From same Rani Ki Vav stepwell, Patan in Gujarat, this is a standing Kalki which has been sculpted. So you can see him as I described here is his blazing sword, his chakra. So that was all from my end. Any questions, any sharings that you know about Vishnu Bhagwan that you would like to share? Please feel free to speak up. Thirty Kurma Avatar. So these are different depictions of Kurma Bhagwan. Someone asked for it. Just give me a moment. I'll end the recording.